Okay, this is going to be an install of a kicker subwoofer on a 2022 Nissan Frontier. Let's get some stuff ready. I already ran some of the wiring. This is the power cord coming in. Obviously I don't have it hooked up yet. My idea is to have the kicker HS 10-inch amp subwoofer behind the seat wired in. I talked to a Crutchfield guy who I got the amp from. He said go ahead and wire in both sets of rear speakers into it, so that's what I'm going to do. I ran the driver's side speaker set yesterday, as well as the bass control knob. I ran the red power cord the other day, and so now I just have some more stuff to run on this side, but that's where I thought I would just show a complete breakdown on how to tear all this apart. So obviously you got to move the floor mats. And some of the first things there's a little little plastic screw underneath here that I need to take off. And then this just pops off. And then these are the obviously the illuminated Pro 4X kick plates that I installed, which was super easy. So if you want to do the kick plates, all you have to do is take off the old ones, and the wiring harness that's the power cord going. This is I believe the wiring harness just went right in there, but anyway, super easy to install those kick plates, illuminated kick plates. So just put them out of the way. This is the power cord that I have running to the amp that I installed the other day. Have to remove these side mounts. So everything's relatively easy to remove in this. Okay, so I got all that removed. Now, that wire should have been ran down underneath there. I may reroute that actually now that I'm taking all this apart again. Okay. So this bolt here is a 14 millimeter metric, and this just holds on obviously the seat belt, back seat belt, but it needs to come off so that you can raise this up some to run the wires around through here. And the wire, you can see, just kind of sits underneath there, but I think it'll be okay. Because what I'm going to plan on doing is this sub actually wedges between the seat and this vent channel thing, and I think it'll stay there pretty well because the seat will fold up against there, and you can see it pinches it in, and it's not going to move. So I don't plan on really using that seat, you know, pulling it down very much, so it'll hold it there. It's easy to get to. So I'll go ahead and loosen all this up. Okay, got that loosened out of the way. So then this just pops off like everything else. Anyways. You can see where I ran that wire the other day. So my plan is to just use regular speaker wire. I did some research. It says you don't have to do anything different as far as using home speaker wire in audio or in auto. So that's what I'm gonna do. It's just much easier to get that through there if you take that seat belt bolt out of there. Come on. So I think these little buttons that hold it on will fall off. So just be sure that those are on there so that when you put it back together, they snap back in. Okay, got it. Across there. Okay, now what this is, I also got one of these LC2I line output converter. They said that if you're going from the speaker into this subwoofer, that these will boost the power a little bit better from the speaker. So I hooked all of it up yesterday and it worked. So I'm just going off of what they said. I don't know anything about car stereo systems, so obviously there might be better ways to do these, but that'll run over to him. Then this will run to this speaker door. So one of the issues that I had yesterday, and I don't know why, was that this blue wire and this light brown wire are the speaker wires. This is not that way over on the driver's side. It only has the blue wire, and I looked, and inside here there's a plug where these wires go into it, but then the brown wire is not there anywhere. So I'm not sure why that is on that side, but be able to patch into it right here with relative ease. I just went into the door and patched into the speaker itself on the other side, just because I wanted to be sure. But these are the exact same wires on that other side, and I took off this door panel last week, and those are the wires. So I'm going to patch into those with this speaker wire, and that way you only have to run it to right there and go back. Then this is the power cord. I went ahead and took that out, but I also have to run this power wire for this line converter. I'm gonna route it and run it up through the firewall with this power wire to the amp. So I figured I might as well pull it out and route it back right along with this one. But I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, got that routed over there to this other side where I'm gonna hook onto that deal. And I'm going to go ahead and run these power wires through the firewall just to show that. Plenty there. And obviously nothing is hooked up, so nothing is hot. So don't have to worry about anything shorting across. Okay, so as you can see down in there, but that boot, I cut a hole in it the other day that I'm gonna slip a wire through there. Try to film this. So we put a loop in it, and well, you get the idea. So I'm going to just go ahead and route that through because I can't do it with one hand, and I'll pick up when it's routed through. Okay, I remembered after I did this, I went in from the bottom and cut the hole from the top, push wire in from the bottom, and then hopefully all of these power wires can be pulled through at once. It went through pretty smooth before, so that should have them. Okay. And if you take this cover off, it gives you a little extra room, but you can see it down in there. You can see the wire coming through. There it is. Okay. I want to route these behind some stuff. Okay, then I've got these fuses. There's to be one here and there'll be one on this one. And so these reds will go to the battery and this black one will, I don't know, maybe we'll attach them right there. Looks like a good spot. Should work. Okay, so that allowed the wires to be fed through, and then we'll just tuck everything back in and this will all sit below that illuminated kick plate. All sit in there real nice. The thing about this kick plate is these damn buttons always come off. They stay stuck in there. I suppose doing too many times of that and those little ears will break off, but plastic's still new enough that they're okay. I'm not going to put this on yet because these other pieces need to go first. I just wanted to get it all lined up, so that should be good. Now we can route this. That should be plenty. One thing that I was reading on which might be common knowledge, I was reading on the kicker setup, it said be sure and don't get the polarities crossed up when hooking up a speaker. So you always want to have, you know, negative and positive running the same all the way to the battery. So all these splices, they have to be kept correct. And in the kicker book, well, it has a black on this wire. See, one side is black, one side is white. So, and then on this deal, it has right and left, positive and negative. So it all needs to be run the same. So we just need to be sure and hook those up right. And the thing is, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research and figure out which one of these is positive and negative between the blue and the brown. Okay, got that wire ran. I'm gonna patch into those wires. So, yeah. Anybody ever notice that you start thinking more clearly and stuff if you have a little bit of nicotine and caffeine? Maybe it's just me. Use these little things to patch directly into the wires, and they work pretty good. Okay, so I did a little research and it looks like the blue one is the positive wire. So I guess I'll make the silver positive. I don't know that it really matters. I suppose it's just as long as it's the same throughout. Yeah, it's gonna be too long. Damn it, that didn't work, no. Okay, those are attached good. Okay. I'm not going to put the panels on until I know that everything works. So. Okay. So this, I went ahead and hooked the ground wire. This is the little plug that comes with this kicker amp. The black is the ground wire. I went ahead and hooked that to this, I don't know, damn child car seat thing. We don't have any kids, so never have to worry about that sort of stuff. How did that get through there? There. Okay, so all those wires will stay down in there, stay out of the way of the jack when it goes back in. And that'll plug in there. These are the stereo wires from the driver's side. Okay, now the only thing I'm not sure about is how this thing's going to sit in there. I guess maybe I'll just put him in like that, and then I don't know, maybe put like one retaining screw, and it's not going to go anywhere, so I think it'll be okay. So this is from the right hand speaker, and we made the silver positive. So get my little screwdriver. There he is. Little tiny screwdriver. Like I say, I don't know that this is necessary as far as hooking up both sides of the speakers into this thing, but it's relatively easy to do, and the guy at Crutchfield said it would just kind of complete it better. Like if you have any bass output that comes out of the right side versus the left side sometimes, then it'll pick those up. This one I made the plain wire positive, the black wire negative. The thing I have to be sure and check is, I think I hook those up that way in the door. So I'll take the door panel off and check that for sure, but just that way you can see how to take off the door panel, because it's really easy as well. So on this door panel, super easy to take this off. Just pop out this little tab thing, and then there's one right here. Pop it off as well. And those just hide two little bolts, 10mm bolts that you have to take out. And then just peel this back, and it all just pops on there. See how easy that is? Okay, so damn. Okay, so I did have these backwards. The blue is the positive, and I put those on backwards yesterday, so I'll just undo those right quick, switch them. But you can see how, the light blue and the brown or tan color is going into there, but the wiring harness over here didn't have that brown wire, and I don't know, there's a plug in here where it ends, and it must tap into something else. I don't know, I can't figure that out. So yesterday, just to make sure that I ran it right, I went from the speaker up through here, through this little deal here, and inside and out. So I don't know, it was really pretty easy. So basically, yesterday I was just checking to make sure that they worked. I'm going to take a little bit of tape around those just to make sure that they don't short out or do something funny in there. Okay, got those, just put a little piece of tape on there just to keep those in there. So we know that the plain wire is positive, and I'm a big fan of zip ties, just kind of zip tying to hold stuff in place. To put that on there, and then to put the door panel back on, you just line up the tabs, and it goes on really pretty easy. Okay, so I don't know. I'm not obviously not afraid to kind of tear in stuff and see how it works. But as you can see, the door panels come off very easily, and the front doors are just the same. Just don't strip those out. But regardless of how you want to do this, now you can see that whether you want to access it through the door speaker directly, or if you just want to replace the door speakers or whatever, you can see how the door panel comes off very easily. And that's it. That's door panel's easy. Okay, so I did hook those up there. Then we have to hook in the power and stuff to this dude. Okay, so this blue wire is your remote wire, and what they say, if you're going to an aftermarket stereo system or something, there's something on the back of the head unit that you can patch this into directly, and that's where you need to get your kind of input, I don't know, power, whatever from. But since we're going directly into the speakers, you don't need to do that. But yesterday I couldn't get it to work, and the guy said, well, you got to put this in this remote in line. So hook that guy up. Okay, then I got to put the power, the positive and negative, so that this little converter has power. It has a 12, it says 12 volt on there, so obviously that's where the 12 volt power goes to. And then it says ground. And when I mount this, I'm going to mount it up just a little bit higher so that those wires don't have pressure on them. But see, that's just hollow. Underneath there is a vent, and I think it's so that when you close the doors, it pushes the air through that little hole there, and it goes. It's a one-way, kind of a one-way valve that shoots the air out, and it keeps humidity down and that sort of stuff. So that's, I was going to take this cardboardy thing out and replace it, but then this fit in there really nicely, so just didn't figure I'd do that. Okay, so just let that hang there. So the next step is to patch the speakers into these two wires. And that's where we just got to keep the positive and negative again separated. So the white goes to the right side and the gray goes to the left side. And we have got some of this speaker wire that'll cut and patch into this deal, these RCA cables, and these hook directly into the top of the kicker. And so I'll just patch in those, splice those together with so this wire will go into the converter, and then this will hook into the kicker amp. And we're just using this because obviously these aren't long enough. One thing I think I did say errantly is that on this blue wire, the remote wire, it needs to be hooked into the remote out, not the remote in order for this amp to recognize the signal that the power is on. So just wanted to point that out. Okay, now hooking these up, this black wire, and I could have used the speaker wire that I used on the other side, but this is just kind of what I got with this kit. But you can see there's little pluses on there to denote a positive wire and a negative. So that allows us to hook them up right. On here, black wire's negative, so hook to the one without the pluses on it. Dang it. Okay. Ah, damn it. No, obviously that happens sometimes. Okay. Oh, no shit. I probably crimped. No. Okay, well, I'll have to go get another one of these little blue things. Yeah, that's the positive. that one's good. So, but anyway, you can get the idea that that's how that's going to work. Then these will be spliced into the wires that go into the amp, because this will be plugged into the converter. Okay, so we got these hooked up. I went ahead and taped those individually and then taped them together. Okay, then this one is the gray wire, so we'll hook it up to the gray. This is the positive side, so we'll hook it up to the non-black wire. And I use the red ones just because it's a little bit smaller wire on that speaker wire. Okay. I guess I could wrap those with tape after I do it. That'd be a little bit easier, wouldn't it? Okay. And obviously they're going to be inside, so it's just to hold them together really more than for protection. Okay, then the white wire. So this is the positive. Okay, now, those wires. Okay, so everything should be essentially hooked up. And plug that in. And it has a main output and base output. The guy said it doesn't matter what you hook into, so I guess I'll just hook it into main for now. So then the right side is the white, and the left is gray. Okay, so just gonna leave that like that for now, make sure it all works, but everything should be hooked up. Now we just gotta hook up the power to it. But before I do that, I want to take a video of what it sounds like inside preamp, and then I'll put in the after sound too. Okay, I don't know how well this sound will work, but this is the sound of it without the sub. So it sounds pretty good. I have the Fender system in here that came with the pickup, but it sounds really good up front. It just sounds like it's lacking in the back, and it doesn't have that bass feel that that you get with a sub, and that's what I was looking for. So that's really why I'm doing it. Not that it sounds bad right now. So we have our power wires on our ground, and going to hook all these up, and the positives will go to the positive, and the negative just gonna hook to that bolt right there. Need to disconnect the negative first so that it doesn't give a shock to the system. But I'm gonna hook that up and then continue on. Okay, so got all that hooked up. I unhooked the ground, took it off, and then I just hooked the two power wires directly onto the battery at that point, so that if ever I have to use jumper cables, I can still get to that positive terminal there. Got a fuse here for the main power going to the amp, and this splice in fuse going to the output converter. So we'll start up and see if it works, because everything should be hooked up now. And this is the base control that I routed up through the dash the other day along the front, just like I did on the other side. So, okay, so it should have power to both units right now. Blue light is on, that's good. Power to this guy, that's good. And like I said, the thing about it is this got a automatic sensor to it, so it knows when the power comes on, and so it doesn't stay on all the time. So we'll see if it works. If you can hear that difference or not, but there's a definite booming coming out of that sub now. I'll turn it back up. So that is good. And then so I shut off the pickup, and there's no power to it because it sensed that there's no power going to the speakers. So everything works, and so now I'm just going to install this little guy, hook him up there, tuck the wires in, hook all that back together, and that should be it. So but I don't know, I just feel better about having it hooked into both sides of both speakers rather than just one. But I think everything will work real good there once I get that hooked up, and you'll see that I can still put the jack as long as I don't catch wires. I'm going to tuck that back in there, but see, the jack will fit in there. Put the tool bag back in there, and then everything should stay secure and nice. Okay, so I thought I might just show the final product. So there's the base control switch. I just screwed it to the dash, tucked up those wires up behind there, and like I said, they run down all along here and back in there. And as you can see, the seat fits fine. It locks, and everything is intact. The only thing with this setup is that you can't raise this up, but I don't know, I never plan on raising it up because it's got this amp underneath there. I suppose if you wanted to slide something across there, but that's what the bed for with the covers on for. So you can see it all sits in there nicely. I just screwed this guy to this thing, and it's sturdy enough, it'll hold it. The amp is just sitting in there. I didn't screw it down, it didn't attach anything. It comes with these little brackets that you can put on and screw to something, but this seat's gonna pinch it in there, so I figure why do that. And like I said, I'm not really ever planning on taking down this seat. So you can see it locks, everything works good there. Got this all buttoned up, it's all put back together. Just be sure and put the obviously the seat belt back on there, and this folds all the way down, but you can see those wires down in there, but the bag and the jack and everything fit in there nicely. Might tuck that back behind that amp a little bit better, but I don't know, I'm pretty happy with how it went in functional wise. And then this, you know, obviously still works and still got storage underneath. I've seen some people put their speaker underneath this back, but I don't know, it's kind of a half-assed little storage place, but at least it's something. But still still able to use it that way. And you know, this is all connected back up. All looks good. And the wire, you can't see it, but it goes in underneath there. Got these, I went ahead and just tied loosely to secure it down there. Just kind of tucked everything back up, zip tied it to that area right there, so it stays out of the way of the washer fluid and, you know, out of the way of that. Goes down behind there and down into the firewall. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I just wanted to show this a little bit better on. I don't think that these videos do justice for the sound, obviously, on sound systems, because you can't get it even over, you know, I don't know that a GoPro has the best sound quality, but I said maybe you can appreciate the thumping in the mirror. Hold it up close so you can see it. Okay. Now this is with that base control knob turned all the way down. Turn it up to about half volume, and then adjust. This is without the bass. anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. If you can't appreciate the bass booming on the video, believe me, it is. And so it works nicely, and why not test it out with a little bit of Nickelback? So I hope this video has helped people know a little bit about the running of the wire, taking off the doors, you know, seeing how the illumination plates are attached, and just some access points to the firewalls and stuff, and how at least I did this speaker system, the sub amp, kicker 10-inch amp, and it seems to work pretty good. So hope it helped out. Thanks.